Hey, what's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are streaming us from. I see you, it's short time, and you know how we do it every Saturday, every Sunday. We're always here doing a couple of interviews, podcasts, hosting the best in the game, the fitness, wellness, and healthy game. But wherever you're watching us from, thanks for joining us. I appreciate that you're actually here. But don't be selfish, share this stream to everyone out there who needs to hear this information because we believe it's gonna change someone's life out there. So without wasting your time, please make sure that you share this stream. But if you're not watching this one live, please when you come and watch this very stream, remember to like, comment, and do all that kind of stuff. But remember, guys, you can also join our membership where you can get exclusive content like exclusive interviews and all that emojis by just clicking on that join button that you're seeing somewhere right there, or in the description there's a link that you can click on and be able to join our memberships. So today it's not special from other days. I have an amazing guest for you guys. We always host the biggest people in the game, the people who are there, to change our lives. People are here to teach us how to live right, how to eat right, how to exercise right. So it's not different. Today I have an amazing guest. If you've seen the thumbnail, you know who I'm talking to. You know how she looks like, but I don't want to introduce her because she's already here. Without further ado, let me welcome my guest.
Hi. Hi,
Hey.
Eros. Hi, everyone.
You're live. Hi, good morning. I know in the US right now it's a morning. I know you guys, you're having a crazy winter, right?
Yes, I find it just fascinating that we're able to connect from around the world. Like it's 4 o'clock your time, 8 a.m. my time. I love it. It's fantastic. I hope you've had a good day, Garros. Mine is just starting.
Yeah, it's been a good day. Just came. I see patients, so come and worked on some patients and finished them and prepared for our interviews. So that's
Nice.
basically how my day was.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I'm ready. I have a live workout after our podcast, so I'm super excited about that. Helping people stay active and putting movement in their day and taking care of their bodies. That's what we do, right?
Oh, so introduce yourself to the people who are watching you from all over the world.
Yes, yeah. People are watching from all over the world. I am really excited because on my lives, I have my regular. You have your regular clients and people that watch you, and my clients will do my live with me. So I'm really excited about that, and it gives them another day of workout on the weekend. Because I'm always like, as I'm sure you are, Garros, is stay active. You need to be doing something. Try to do something every single day. Rest days are important, but it's really important to keep moving, even if it's just 30 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But I appreciate you inviting me on here to talk about how to stick to a fitness and nutrition routine because it can be really difficult sometimes. We're all busy. We all have stuff going on, whether it's our personal lives or our work. I mean, the struggle is real. Let me tell you, when you get up at 5 in the morning, you've got to commute to work, or if you're working in your home and you've got 8 or 9 hours of work, and after that you're tired. And people are like, how do I do this? I don't have time to do it. So the struggle is real with that. But there are real tips that I would like to share today that hopefully can help people with their struggle.
So before we even dive into our topic today, when did you begin all this thing? When did you decide, hey, I think it's high time I started living a healthy life. When was that, and how long have you been doing this?
Yes, well, I'm old, Garros. But I've been doing this my whole life. I've been active since I was a girl. I grew up knowing fitness because my family was always in sports or active. My dad was a college athlete, scholarship athlete. My mom was always active. So growing up, I knew the importance of it. I wasn't preached at, I saw it, I lived it. So, I mean, I started teaching classes when I was in college. And I did it as a hobby. I pursued television. I was a television news producer. And then I was like, I really want to get into fitness more. So 22 years ago is when I became a full-time fitness professional. I got my personal training certification. I became a Les Mills instructor. I don't know if you've ever heard of Les Mills, but it's body pump, body step, body combat, all that really awesome stuff. It's a great company, Les Mills. So I became a full-time instructor, and now I'm a health coach. I got certified to be a health coach several years ago through ACE. So now it's a full-time thing. So I've been doing it full-time for 22 years. And I love it. It's a lifestyle for me. It's not something that I just do. And that's what I want to talk about. If you can incorporate health and fitness into your lifestyle, then it doesn't become a chore. It doesn't become something that you have to do. It's just something that you do. I mean, it's like brushing your teeth. You get up in the morning, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you don't think about it. That's how fitness should be. That's how a good, healthy lifestyle should be. That's how I look at it.
Oh, I mean, that's interesting. So we basically talking to someone who has expertise in this, 22 years of, living a healthy lifestyle, which involves, healthy fitness and of course, healthy diet, plans and other kind of stuff. So
Yes.
I can't wait for the tips, because one of the challenges that most people face is starting out and sticking to that plan, because I know it's easy to start out. Everybody can start out for a week, for two, a month, but sustainability is the key. So I'm happy that you're going to talk about sustainability, because it looks like the biggest challenge most people are facing. Someone is going to look at you, look at the way you look. I don't know how old you are, but they think, hey, how has she been able to maintain this size until this age? And they want to dive into it, but they don't do the sacrifices that you've paid, from way back up to where you are now. So it's important that you actually give these people the naked truth that someone actually needs to do, how they need to, adjust in their lives to make sure that they keep living a healthy fitness and lifestyle. So let's dive into those tips.
Yes. So the first thing I would say is, what is your why? Like, let's get a little deeper than, I want to lose some weight. Okay. Or I want leaner muscles, or I want to get stronger. I would dive in and say, why? Like, why is that important to you? Because knowing your why is going to be the reason that you push through the discomfort. So being healthy, making good choices, being fit, being active, it's not always easy. Like, let's be honest, it's not. It's worth it. So I would ask questions and say, what's your why? That's the most important thing. And if you don't know what your why is, you need to think about it. I have a client, and I've had her for several years. And when she came to me, she was like, I need to move. I need to lose some weight. And I was like, okay, why is that important to you? And we talked for a while, and finally she said, I want to be able to play with my grandchildren. I want to be able to be strong enough to get down on the floor with them, play with them, and get up just down and up. So for her, that's a big deal. Being with family, that's when it becomes lifestyle, right? When it's important to you to improve your life quality, it becomes more than just, I want to look good, right? I mean, looking good is good, but I always think about it as looking good is a byproduct of healthy choices, and it's so worth it. So that's my big thing, is I would ask, what's your why? If you don't know, really think about why it's important to you. And losing weight and looking good, that is all important. But Garros, I have been doing this a long time. And when you're younger, you have a young body and it's easier. But as you grow older, it's harder, and your why changes. You want to prevent problems. You don't want to have arthritic knees, right? You don't want to gain that extra weight that comes with growing older. At some point, we're all going to grow older, and your why changes. Your why becomes prevention, or your why becomes, I don't want to get sick. I want to have a healthy immune system. I want to really take care of my body so I'm healthy as I get older. So really knowing your why is super important. Another important thing is having goals. Having goals is really important, and knowing your goals and having your goal be more be bigger than your cop out, right? So yeah, so I would say, because it's really easy, Garros, as you know, being in the fitness business, it's really easy for someone to be like, I don't feel like it today. I don't feel like it, right? Well, we got to get stronger than our feelings. We have to really know what our goals are. And so when I talk about goals, I talk about SMART goals, which is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time specific. You really need to have your SMART goals, short-term and long-term. You know, you eat an elephant one little chunk at a time. You don't eat the whole thing. So we need to, you know, if you want to lose like even 20 pounds, like 20 pounds, that's significant. Instead of looking at that, let's say I'm going to lose 1 pound in 1 week. So I want to lose 1 pound this week. I'm going to do that by walking on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. for 40 minutes. And then on Wednesday and Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to do strength training during my lunch hour. And, you know, specific, measurable, time relevant, what day of the week. We need to really get down on the narrow and specifics about how we're going to do that, not just keep it like, I want to lose 20 pounds. So anyway, that's
like how you've
my
said, I think I've met clients, I myself, who actually have unrealistic expectations. I mean, somebody comes to you and they're saying, I have this ton of belly fat and I want it out of my body in a month. And when you ask them, how long did it take you to, accumulate all this fat? They will tell you maybe 2-3 years. Why do you think you're going to lose it in a month? You understand what I'm saying? So, which means that the goal is not actually realistic, the expectations are higher, and it's not actually possible. And sometimes when you actually tell them that this is not possible for a month, they kind of want to step back. You get what I'm saying? But like how you said, before you start all this kind of lifestyle, you need to have realistic and achievable goals. It's very, very important. Knowing that body transformation does not come in a day, does not come in 2 weeks, there's no magic basically. You need to put in the work because we all understand these are processes that are taking place at perhaps a DNA level. So for them to be visible, you actually need a significant amount of time. So I think you have that at the back of your mind. Don't care when you go to the gym and you see all these lean and shredded people and you're like, oh my God, I think I should be like this one in a day. Don't mind about that. Just ask yourself, how long has it taken them to look like how they look now? So it's very, very important to have that question, forming your foundation.
Yes, absolutely. And that comes through conversation from talking to people about, so tell me how you live right now. So tell me, what's your biggest struggle? You want to lose 10 pounds? Like, how did you get here? How did you gain that weight? Is it a sedentary lifestyle? Is it poor eating choices? And probably it's going to be a combination of those things. And I always tell people, because, listen, I used to run a gym. I had a gym way back when I lived in Ohio. And I would have people that were clients that would be like, I want to look like this person. Like you said, like people, that are cut or Victoria's Secret model or whatever. And you're like, but our bodies are all different. And that's not even an option because your body is completely different than that. So let's get real here. And when were you the most happy? And so I'll ask them that. When were you happy with how you looked? And they'll be like, 5 years ago. And I'm like, find a picture of you when you were the happiest, how you looked. And let's use that as your goal because that's you. And you're really your only role model or even your own competition. Like let's zoom into you, not comparing yourself to anyone else because everyone's body is different. And, these cut models and all of that, they've got trainers, they've got like nutritionists. That's not really reality for most of us, right? That's not, we're in charge of ourselves and we can't compete with that unreality. So it's just talking, with people and it's really kind of wheeling them into reality, their own reality. Like, when were you most happy? Let's not look at, that model over there. Let's reel it in and let's talk about when you were happiest, when you liked your body the most. So yeah, it's just conversations, and it's just keeping it real. And that those 10 pounds did not happen overnight. So, and I would say, let's focus on 1 to 2 pounds a week, because doing that, you're going to be able to maintain that kind of weight loss. And also, how are we going to do it? It doesn't just happen, and it doesn't happen by starving yourself. It happens by eating right, making good choices, and exercise and strength training, and the right combinations of those things. So it doesn't just happen. It's a science. It's not a wishing game. Like, some people are like, I just don't understand how it all works. I just wish I could lose this weight. If you really want to lose the weight, we could do it. It's a science, and we know how to do it. It's just, it takes commitment, and it takes priority. And if you're not ready, there's a readiness for change. If you're really ready to make that change, you can do it. And you and I, Garros, as fitness professionals, we can help you do that.
That's why we're here. That's the purpose of this very, very interview. But let me first shout out some people right here. Tisha, I see you. Thanks for coming through. Kanye Vlogs, I see you. Thanks for watching. Extreme Noah, thanks for watching, guys. Welcome to this stream, and share this stream if you can, so that we can have an amazing audience.
Welcome, you guys. Good to see you. I hope we're able to help someone, Garros. That is exactly why we're here. I also wanted to talk about, sometimes people have these really big goals, and it's our job to make them smaller and attainable, and to celebrate the small successes. So you lose a pound, that's a big deal. I mean, you might be like, oh my gosh, I've got 19 more to go. Celebrate that 1 pound. That 1 pound is 3,500 calories. So that's a big deal, right, Garo? So celebrate the small successes. Maybe your celebration is, everything's kind of different with COVID now. We're not like out and about like we used to do. But like, a small success might be, maybe order yourself a new fitness something online, maybe order a new fitness tank. The next pound I lose, I'm going to buy myself an ab roller, whatever it is. Or, spend time with a good book or a friend, celebrate those small successes by treating yourself. And that's going to motivate you to keep going to that next small success. So celebrate the small successes. Have your short-term goals, have your short-term SMART goals, and have your long-term goals. And keep record. Journaling is a great way to do it. A lot of people don't like to journal, but if you journal, boy, there are big results to journaling. Writing down, your foods, writing down your triggers, right, girls? Knowing your triggers. Are you eating because you're bored? Are you eating because you're stressed? Are you eating because it's nighttime and this is your time to just chill? So you've done good all day, but now it's nighttime. It's your time to just relax and do whatever you want. I've seen a lot of people, they do good all day long, and then by nighttime, they're like, this is my time to chill, and I'm going to chill, and I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to have my glass of wine. I'm going to have my snacks and whatever. But, that will upend all the hard work you're doing during the day. And know your why, because if your why is bigger than your nighttime trigger, then you're going to be able to stick to it. And it's worth it. It's worth it, you guys. It's worth it waking up in the morning and being like, okay, I'm ready to do this again, because you know what? I feel really good. I made good choices yesterday, and I'm going to make good choices today. And so if you can just stick to it, it's very, very worth it.
Perfect. And that's why I always tell people, the stronger your why, the resilient you're going to be towards, attaining your goals. So, because every time you want to quit, you keep, going back and refining the why you started. So if you have a stronger why, then it is easier to persist. So that's why it's really very, very important to form a foundation that is very, very strong before actually enrolling on this very journey. Otherwise, 6 months down the road, 4 months down the road, you're most likely going to quit if you have the weak why.
Well, and it's also like becoming routine, right? So it takes about a little over 2 months, about 66 days for something to become a habit. So if you're able to be consistent, it's all about consistency. You can't work out once a week and look for goals. No, and I don't mean to say that lightly because consistency is really important, you guys. If you can be consistent, you're going to reach those goals. But it's doing that. It's making it a habit. It's getting up and knowing when you're going to work out. So when I sit down with my clients, I'm always like, grab your planner. And now it's pretty much on your phone. Grab your planner. Let's figure it out. When can you work out? When are you going to get your movement in? And it's also, Garros, as you know, hand in hand, it's fitness and nutrition. It's not just fitness. Nutrition is so, so very important. So it's also talking about, your choices, your healthy eating. Like, let's talk about that. Like, where do you struggle the most with your eating? Is it the choices you make? Sometimes I'll go to the grocery store with someone and we'll go shopping and figure out like, okay, what are you buying when you go to the store? How are you eating? Because that's huge, as you know, being a trainer is your choices are super important to your successes.
And there's this saying that goes, you can't exercise out a bad diet.
No, I mean, honestly, Garros, you can't. You can't. And some people, and here's the deal, like when you're younger, you think you can, right? And you've got a young body and you have a little more give. But as you get older, that give goes away. There is no give. I'm telling you that. Exactly. And healthy eating becomes super important. And you got to get those habits early on to take you through, the rest of your life. But yeah, you can't out exercise a bad diet. You can't run 10 miles a day every single day. And even doing that, you're still not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, it really makes a lot of sense. I mean, for people struggling to lose weight, you can't burn, for example, 6,000 calories in a workout and then sit down and eat a meal that is 2-3 times the calories you burn. So that's why they say you can't exercise out a bad diet. So it's very, very important that actually you form a foundation first based on your diet, then start, incorporating in the exercise routine very, very slowly. But just know nutrition forms the foundation. So you can't at one time exercise out a bad diet. That's when you have to know it from the beginning. If you don't know that, please know it from today. If you're watching us, Emma256 Fitness, I see you. Thanks for coming through. Omdigizi, you're saying hi, host, and how's everyone? We are fine. Guys, thanks so much for coming through. We see you and we appreciate you. That's why we are here, because we know you are there watching. So your presence keeps us going.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I am so honored that Garros asked me to be here, and thanks you guys for being here. But we are talking about adhering to a healthy lifestyle through fitness and through healthy nutrition sources. So knowledge is power, right? And so I would say, let's dive in to what we want to do, what we want to accomplish. So you have a goal, and things have gotten so much easier. And here again, I'm going to like age myself, but you guys, we're like one click away from an answer. So if you don't know, like if you want to make a choice, if you're even at a restaurant or something, you could look up the calorie count of a certain food. I remember when you couldn't even do that. And it was kind of was a guessing game. But now you're literally one click away from finding out how many calories something is. Slice of pizza, a burger, whatever. And you know what? I'm not about diets, right? Diets have the word die in them. I'm about lifestyle. And lifestyle is about, having enjoyment, right? Eating things that you want to eat. But it's also about reeling it in and having control over yourself, because the calories that you bring in matter. And so knowledge is power. Knowing the amount of calories that you should have in a day is super important. And that's really easy to figure out if you have, I mean, there's like a calculator that you can look up to figure out. And I do it with my clients all the time. And it's just through knowing your statistics, you know, your age, your weight, how active you are. And then you plug all that in. And it's like, here's how many calories you should have in a day, whether it's between 1,200 or, you know, 1,800, depending on your activity and your age, whether you're male or female, whether you're active or sedentary. But figuring out, knowledge is power, you guys. Figure out what's your calories. How are you going to do that? Calorie counting is great, and there are apps for that, and there are trackers for that. I know a lot of people that don't like to do that. They're like, listen, that's not for me. So guess what? There are portion size plates and dishes you can buy that you can put your food in for the right portions. So there's so many things available right now to keep you on track with your calories, and also the type of calories. I mean, all calories are not the same. So calories from a bowl of chips is not the same as a bowl of greens, right? So the choices that we make are super important. And so that's where I guess us as fitness professionals can help. But I find, Garros, that it's all about conversation. It's all about talking and figuring out the struggle points of where someone is struggling and where, like, you and I can help them.
Exactly, and that's why we here. I know everyone cannot take a step, to go really learn about these things. I mean, get certification and all that kind of stuff. But us who really found it in ourselves to take that extra step and be there to help you. We are here to help you from everywhere. I mean, I'm in Uganda and she's in the US, and we are able to connect and talk to the world. So, but one thing I can advise whoever is watching us is when you try to start, for example, a weight loss journey, try as much as you can to do certain kind of research for yourself. Don't just enter into the whole journey so blind. Try to make your own research a little bit and learn the basics. And when you do that, then the journey will become simpler for you. Don't go into all this so blind, or because I understand we have different bodies. What works for somebody else or what works for somebody else might not work for you. So you need to do a little bit of research and try out something that you can sustain. For example, for me, if I find someone is losing weight with a certain plan or with a certain method, and they are able to sustain it for a very long time, I don't care. Stick to that. That's what I'm saying. You need to do a little bit of research, try this and this, make sure that you have the basic knowledge that can help you, go through all that. That's why we are here to provide you with that basic knowledge.
Absolutely. Garros, and I would say, listen, if you're just starting out and you're like, I don't really know where to start with my nutrition, I would say, what's one thing that that you struggle with that's probably not so good in your daily dietary, what you take in? Is it soda? Do you have a sweet tooth? Do you like snacks, bad carbs, too much bread? Like, right? We all know where we struggle. So get that one thing and get rid of it. And if getting rid of it's too hard, then scale that back. Let's start small, because starting small will help you achieve that, like we were talking about earlier. Start small. If you start too big, you're not going to stick with it. Okay. So starting small, scaling back one bad thing in your diet will make all the difference in the world. Because then once you do that, well, let's move forward then. What's one healthy thing that you can put in your daily dietary consumption? Is it more water? Listen, I keep this thing full of water all day long, and I drink it all day long. It's all I drink except for my coffee, which I have here. Is it more water? Do you need to drink more water? And that's where healthy choices in your day matters. Start small, add in stuff that you need to add in, and get rid of what you need to get rid of. And that's where journaling helps. But also talking about lifestyle, like we're talking about fitness and healthy food as a lifestyle. Let's talk about your sleep. Like, how long are you sleeping? you need to shut it down. Like if you're up until 11 or 12, at night and getting up at 5 or 6 in the morning, not enough sleep. And that's going to affect, your hormone levels and everything. And your hormone levels affect how you're able to lose weight. Like our bodies are this miracle machine, right? And one thing affects another. So we need plenty of sleep. We need hydration. We need movement. And we need healthy choices. It all goes together. And I promise you, you can't have a healthy life with one of those things being out, because it's all about balance. It's all about balance, you guys. And if you're like, gosh, I'm doing all the right things, why aren't I losing weight? Stay at it. Be consistent, because if you're doing all those things, your body's just being stubborn, and you have to be consistent. And I promise you, you will end up losing the weight if you're doing everything that you need to be doing. So that's my advice.
Perfect. Let's look at someone who has been living, their life, and they've been basically feeding on this so-called junk food and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, hey, this is the time for me to stop and maybe start focusing on healthy foods. And they already know the healthy foods, but they are, trying hard to, keep the junk away. So how do they get started?
So I would say how to get started. It's talking about people like, what do you like to eat? Okay, so what do you like? And so, I mean, if someone doesn't like fish or whatever, then I'm not going to propose that they eat that. So let's talk about what you do like to eat. And a lot of times people they like fruit and they don't like vegetables. But you can eat too much fruit because there's sugar in fruit. Even though it's all natural and fruit's a complex carb, fruits are good. They provide a lot of fiber, a lot of nutrients. But, let's change it up a little bit and let's try to get some vegetables in there. What kind of vegetables do you like? It's all about finding what you like, healthy choices. And like I said, I mean, you don't have to be connected to a fitness professional these days to know what healthy choices are. It's literally a click away, you guys. So, greens, there are so many fun recipes, and there are so many like fun little gadgets, air fryers, right? Or whatever, like grills. There's so many like things out right now that you can make really yummy, healthy food, and it tastes really good. So what do you like to eat? And I would say eat more in the earlier part of the day than later in the day. There is some truth to that. Eating breakfast. You can't starve yourself to lose weight. And that goes into a whole other thing. But you can't stop eating to lose weight because your metabolism goes down. So that means your body is not burning the calories. So when you starve yourself, and then ultimately you're going to have to eat something, your body's going to hold on to that because your body thinks it's starving. So you don't want to do that. You need to eat food to lose weight. You have to make sure you're eating enough food. And there are really yummy, healthy choices that you can make. Like, for instance, after my workouts, I make a protein smoothie. And I put all kinds of really good stuff in there that I probably wouldn't eat on my own if it wasn't in my smoothie. Like greens and chia seeds and a couple strawberries and protein mix, and I put a little PB2 in there. But I'm not going to eat greens for breakfast if I didn't put it in my smoothie. But that's flooding your body with health. There are yummy ways to eat healthy. You don't have to eat stuff you don't like. Find stuff that you like, healthy choices, and do it, because it's all about what's going to work for you. And what works for you is not going to work for, Sue down the street. It's going to work for you. So figure that out. Knowledge is power. And boy, we have access to a lot of knowledge these days, which is so really, really great. And Garros, I was going to say, talking about movement and fitness, the American Heart Association says we need to be moving at least 30 minutes a day, every single day, for a healthy heart. February is Heart Health Month. And so on my page, I am sharing heart healthy workouts that aren't long. Listen, you don't need to work out for 60 minutes to get a workout in. And that's where, when I sit down with a client and I'm like, okay, where are you going to get your activity in this day? And if they're like, listen, I only have 20 minutes because I'm going from meeting to meeting, or my virtual meeting, my Zooms from here to here. Okay, you've got 30 minutes. Okay, let's figure out what we're going to do. Let's fill that 30 minutes in. But it's really important to figure out that your time and what you're going to do in your 10, 20, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour, what works for you. And then I would say, what do you like to do? Do you like to dance? Do you like to ride your bike? Do you like to run? Do you like to hike? Do you like to walk? Find what you like. This is all about you and what's going to work for you. Like, find out what you like, because that's so important to sticking to a routine. If you don't like your workouts, you're not going to do them because you're not going to feel like doing them, right? So figure out what you like to do. And there's so much available now. Back when my mom used to exercise, there was jazzercise. And that was it. And I'm not knocking jazzercise. Believe me, jazzercise is great. But now you guys are so much, the Peloton, you have everything, bar classes, you've got cycling classes. And a lot of this is online now, you guys, with COVID. But there are so many options now for you to figure out what you like to get your workouts in.
Oh, perfect. There's this saying that goes out of sight, out of mind, if I get it right. For example, I myself, as someone who was so much addicted to sugar, I mean, I couldn't imagine taking milk or anything without sugar. So what I started as like, I stopped buying sugar. You know what I'm saying? So I stopped, I'm seeing sugar in my house. Every time I would think about sugar, I have nowhere to, find it. And all of a sudden, I was not even thinking about sugar anymore. I was not thinking about buying it. Even now, I don't know the price of sugar. So that's how I got rid of sugar. So I think that statement is right. Out of sight, out of mind. If you can't see something, then most likely you're not going to crave for it. If you're someone who's taking a lot of these junk food and all that, the first thing you can do, don't buy them. Don't have them in your house. Keep away from them. Or if you have some in your house, try to keep them somewhere you can't see them all the time. Because if they are close to your sitting room, you're gonna be relaxed, and all you want to do is to snack on them. So the best way is get them out of your house. That's what I always tell people. Get them out of your house, and then by the time you realize, you no longer even think about them.
That is such good advice, Garros. Get it out of the house. Don't have it in your house, because in a weak moment, you're going to be triggered. And if you know it's there, you're going to go for it. Because we're human, let's be honest, and we've got good willpower. Even if you have good willpower, you're going to be like, And most people, well, maybe that's exaggerating. A lot of people are all or nothing. So if you're going to go for that trigger, if you know it's there and you're going to go for it, you're going to go, I've had one cookie already. I might as well have two. Well, I might as well have the whole sleeve because I've already had two. So don't have it. Don't let it in there. And also, like, find a healthy substitute. So, Garros, I used to be addicted. I used to be addicted to sugar. I admit it. I used to be a sugar addict. I used to eat candy corn, jelly beans, you name it, the crap candy, Skittles. I know, it's embarrassing, but I used to be addicted to all that stuff. But you know what? I was like, sugar is evil. Sugar is an addiction, and it is so bad for your body. It does terrible things to your body. And I'm like, listen, knowledge is power. And as I learned more, I'm like, I got to get sugar out. There are healthy substitutes. There are plant substitutes. So I know sugar is a plant technically, but there's stevia, there's truvia. You guys, there's a little bit of honey. Like, there's different things you can use so you're not using straight up sugar. So how did I get rid of my sugar addiction? I replaced it. So the nutrition component of my business is Juice Plus. And they have these little fruit chews that are actual fruits and vegetables in a little gummy. And so that is the truth, how I got rid of my sugar addiction. I did a lot of driving. I don't do as much driving anymore. And that's kind of when I ate my candy, was when I was driving in my car because I was bored, and I would just, dive into my candy corn. And the feeling you get after eating a lot of sugar is terrible. Like, there's like, what's it called? You just crash, right? After you eat your sugar, and it's a terrible thing. And that shows you how terrible it is for your body. So complex carbohydrates, like have an apple, right? Or have, I make these cute little like protein bites with my complete shake mix. And I put all kinds of good stuff in it, like PB2 and the dark chocolate chips and almond butter or whatever. And so it's nutrient dense things that are not going to give you, that are good for your body. They're going to feed your body, give your body energy. That's not going to give you a sugar crash, because sugar is a real addiction, Gyros, like you said, for sure.
It is. It's a real addiction, and if you look at the studies that have been done after taking sugar, of course, after getting all that insulin sugar crash, you feel so sluggish. But then there was a study that was done, and they actually found that actually sugar affects your brain. After eating a lot of refined grains, table sugar, and all that kind of stuff, there's a lot of stuff going on in the regions of your brain which are supposed to deal with cravings and stuff like rewarding. So actually, that's what makes sugar addictive. Sugar basically it stimulates the limbic system, your part of the brain that is responsible for your emotions, cravings, and other kind of stuff. So that's why most people think they're actually addicted to sugar and they can't live without sugar. So it's really very important that you start withdrawing from sugar as fast as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Sugar will kill you. And I mean, that might sound like an exaggeration, but it's really not. It's an addiction. When you have a little bit of sugar, you crave more. It's an addiction. So you need to scale back. There are ways that you can cook nowadays without the sugar. There are healthy recipes you can make that are sweet. I mean, we all have sweet tooths, right? We all crave something sweet, but make a healthy choice because it's worth it. And like Garo said, it affects your brain, it affects your body, it affects your organs, it affects your blood. Like it affects everything. So it's very worth it to find a healthy alternative if you have a sugar addiction, for sure. Yes. Yes.
And I think you need to make this clear. Sometimes when you talk about sugar, people think we're simply talking about table sugar, sucrose. I think it's very, very important that when we talk about sugar, we're talking about glucose in general. It doesn't matter whether it's coming from, it can be glucose, can be fructose, it can be galactose, it can be lactose, as long as it's something called sugar. So people sometimes when we talk about sugar, they tend to think we're talking about table sugar only. You might not be consuming a lot of table sugar, but you're consuming a lot of refined grains and all that actually do not contain fructose, which makes table sugar sweet, but they contain a lot of refined glucose. So it's very, very important for you to know that here we don't talk about table sugar.
Knowledge is power. And nowadays there are labels. There are clear labels because it's required now. And so look at your label, if you're buying something, and when you go to the store, you need to stay on the outer rims of the grocery store, right? Stay out of the processed stuff, the snacks, the cookies, the junk. The junk's in the middle. The fresh stuff is on the outer part of the grocery store. But check the labels and be informed. And it's not just table sugar, like Eros was saying, it's fructose, it's sucrose, it's all that kind of stuff your body processes as sugar, which affects insulin levels, which affect, hormones and everything in your body. So read your labels. Knowledge is power. And if you're uncomfortable doing that, then go to a fitness professional that is comfortable doing that, that can kind of translate, okay, you know what, this is not good for you. Let's go to a more healthier choice. I've seen it happen, you guys. Healthy choices make a huge difference. And it's habit. It's doing it time and time again. And sure, if you want to have like a bowl of ice cream, once in a while, yeah, but then scale back what else you're doing in that day. If I know, like today, like my husband's making an awesome dinner later. So I'm like, you know what? I know I'm going to have extra calories at dinner. So I'm going to scale back my breakfast, my lunch. I'm going to scale back a little bit because I know I'm going to splurge a little bit. It's planning and it's knowing if you're going to splurge, you got to scale back something else. And you don't have to do, without 100%. We all need little treats now and then, but it's being in control. It's having self-control. And if you don't have it, because I've met all kinds of people that are like, listen, if I have it once, I'm out. I'm just going to have it all the time. If you are that person, then don't open that door, right? Then have those healthy alternatives and stick to those. But if you do have self-control, then you know what? Have a little bit. Treat yourself a little bit with control. Because I mean, Garros and I, we're not like, you can't have that anymore. You have to do what works for you, right?
Yeah, and there's this 80-20 rule. I think it works perfect. Try as much as you can to adhere to your diet or meal plan 80%, and 20% try as much as you can to enjoy your favorite foods. Once in a while, go out, have a pizza, have a burger. You're at the party, you're at the birthday party, sip that wine. That's not going to, take you back, as long as you still have that stronger wine that we talked about.
Well, and there are substitutes. So if you want to have that burger, have it without the bun. Like I always get my burger on a piece of lettuce. I mean, I like burgers. I don't eat them a ton, but I mean, I eat them and I'll put it on a burger and I'll have it with hummus instead of cheese. Like there are healthy alternatives you can have. And like I said before, what do you like? What healthy alternatives? It's thinking about that, right? So instead of having the bun, put it on lettuce. And you can still have the meat. Use hummus instead of cheese. You don't have to use a ton of butter, right? Just if you're going to have a piece of bread, have it without the butter. Have healthy bread, have whole wheat. So there are things you can do so you can still indulge, but indulge in a healthy way where it becomes a lifestyle.
So let's talk about the people who travel a lot. I mean, I really understand that it's really hard if you're trying to lose weight and you travel a lot, you're not always at home, you don't cook for yourself. How do you advise such kind of people to stick to their plans?
Yeah, it's hard because going into a restaurant, you don't have control over how they make their food. So even though you're like, I'm going to order healthy, I'm going to do this and that, you have no control how they're making it. Because their job is not to keep you healthy. Their job is to make the food taste good. So it is, I mean, the struggle is real. So I would say, when you're traveling, definitely when you're eating, try to make the healthiest choices. Like I said before, grilled chicken, anything grilled, lean protein, stick with that, stick with healthy choices, have healthy snacks where you're able to, because if you're traveling, and a lot of this is like pre-COVID, but still people are still traveling, is have healthy snacks that will take you through so you don't go like all day. Because I know when I used to travel, I would go all day and then I'd be like, I'm starving, I need to eat everything. When you reach that point, when you are starving, you will eat anything and you will eat everything. So you need to keep that. You'll make unhealthy choices because you're so hungry. We've all been there. So when you're traveling, it's making healthy choices. Have healthy snacks on hand. Prepare, like put them in a little baggie before you leave, like whether it's some almonds or nutrient-dense stuff that'll carry you over when you're traveling. And also when you're traveling is make time to work out. Even if the place where you're staying doesn't have a gym, you can do something in your hotel room. I think Garros, you probably have it too, but like a little workout you can do in your hotel room, even if it's just 10 minutes to get your heart pumping, but having that activity doesn't have to be a full hour. Having that activity is really, really important. So you can stay healthy and travel. Absolutely. It just needs to be a priority and you need to plan for it. There is success in planning, Garros, wouldn't you say? Success in planning.
Oh, that's absolutely perfect. I mean, people always find all the excuses. Hey, I'm traveling. I used to cook myself. Now I can't cook for myself. So what am I gonna do? So give them all the excuses. Now deviate and people who attend a lot of parties reach at the party. You don't find your favorite foods, and for the party they are cooking for everyone, not just you. So you have no choice. Stay quite there. But if you plan in advance, then you're not going to get challenges. So I believe planning is very, 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 very vital. And especially here in where I live, I'm not going to talk for Africa, like in general, we don't have a habit of packing food. Here we basically wake up early morning, go to your work, perhaps there's a canteen which cooks food for everyone, and that's what you're going to eat. So here the habit of cooking food, packing food, is not there, and which I think it's really unfortunate for us. But remember, us in Africa, a long time ago, right now, what's happening is we are trying to adopt the Western culture. Whatever we're eating right now, it's pure Western. If you look at what we eat then and compared to what we are eating now, it's completely different. Here, our grandfathers and mothers, they used to go hunt for these animals which have been fed on natural grass. They used to go look for these fruits from wherever they are, get all this natural food, and that's what they used to eat. We never used to have a lot of this kind of processing machines and all that kind of stuff that processes food. But right now it's here. So whatever we are eating right now, it's pure Western. And if you look at the kind of the diseases that we even used to suffer then, they now differ. We are suffering from the same chronic disease that people in the Western culture suffer from. In Africa, we never used to have stuff like diabetes, dyslipidemias, hypercholesterolemia, and such kind of stuff. We never used to have it simply because we used to all natural foods, unlike what's happening right now. So here we tried as much as we can to adopt the Western culture, but unfortunately we don't have people like me and you who are trying to sensitize the whole population to adapt a little bit. So it's very, very, very sad. Me working in a hospital setting, I see numbers of these patients with chronic diseases tripling every day, every day, every day. Simply because we don't have people out there trying to teach the world about these kind of things. So that's how much we are grappling with this problem here.
I think it's fascinating how things are so different culture to culture, and it's just so cool to talk to you, Garros, from across the world. Like you're in Africa right now, and it's different. Where you live, we have different struggles, right? And so, where we are in the United States of America, we struggle with supersizing. We struggle with things are way too big. Like our portions are way too big. We go to a restaurant and our plate, our plate is filled with food. And if you were raised by, cleaning your plate, you're going to eat all that food, and it's way too much food. Our bodies don't need that much food. So yeah, it's fascinating the different struggles we have going from culture to culture. Our struggles here is a sedentary lifestyle, especially now with COVID, where people are sitting on Zoom meetings or sitting at their computers. We don't have to be active. We need to be, but we don't have to be. So it's a sedentary lifestyle. You're sitting in your car, you're driving, sitting. Sitting is detrimental, you guys. We need to be up and moving. We need to be standing. And it's big portion sizes. So like the first thing I will tell a client would be like, do you have a smaller plate you can use? Like, let's use a smaller plate and let's fill it with healthy things. So yeah, culture to culture, our struggles are different for real. But ours are portion sizes. Here, we don't need to eat as much. And so your body actually feels better when it's not stuffed, when your stomach is not filled with all that food. So yeah, good point, Garros.
Yeah, those are the struggles that we are going through here. And of course, when it comes to health, wellness, and fitness here, it's still a little bit virgin, a little bit. We don't have so many people talking about this. Here, when you look at that kind of healthy living, some people they think it's really expensive, but in my opinion, it's actually not expensive. But we actually need more people, pushing this and sensitizing people about healthy living. That's what we need right now. I mean, for example, if you look at all these gyms and whatever working out, when you come back to my country, you find that gyms are really super expensive. Most of them they are hotel gyms. Few people can afford to go into these expensive hotels that they can work out. So actually, most people don't work out. So it's a little bit tricky, but we have to do as much as we can. For us who know we are not going to just sit back and watch all this happen, we gotta do something about it. Because I myself being a healthy worker, I don't like it when people come to me and they are already sick and I can't cure them. I actually want to prevent them from coming to me. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm trying as much as I can to actually. And I wish my government would actually focus on preventive treatment instead of curative treatment, and that's what they are forgetting because there's a lot of money going into managing chronic disease and all that, which is a burden to the government itself. But it's not fixing the primary problem. The primary problem should be actually preventative, not curative.
Really, really good point. What we're talking about today is prevention. So, like Garo said, you want to prevent a chronic disease before it happens. Preventing a chronic disease is making healthy choices and move your body. Simple as that, being consistent and doing it. Otherwise, guess what? You're going to end up with, whether it's diabetes or heart disease or some sort of metabolic disease. If you are not active and you're not eating well, it's going to become a treatment rather than prevention. So you want to start this before your doctor says, hey, you absolutely need to start working out because it's your life. It's going to cost your life. So this isn't just like, something fancy that, we like to do or whatever. It's a lifestyle and it's prevention before something bad happens. You want to be in front of that. You want to be in charge of your life and your health before it becomes a problem, before it becomes a disease, for sure, for sure.
I understand you really have a live workout coming soon. So I really don't want us to, delay here. We are about 1 hour into the live stream, so I don't want it, to go beyond hours. So I will let you, give that your parting shots so that you can prepare for your live workout.
Yeah, thank you. So Garros and I met through YouTube, and we're YouTube fitness workout people. And yes, I have a live, and come check it out, Kirsten QuickFit on YouTube. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, Kirsten QuickFit. And I do all kinds of workouts, but I'm going to do a low impact HIIT workout today. So no jumping. My boot camp girls who I work out with all week, I promise them no jumping because they're always like, we work hard during the week. So on Saturday, we're kind of like taking it down a notch. So I would love for you to check out my channel on YouTube or check out my social media. I'd really appreciate it. I just love the community on YouTube, the fitness community. You guys, if you're looking for anything, it's on YouTube. And like Garros was saying, we're online a lot now, or maybe the gyms are too expensive. Go to YouTube. I mean, you can find anything on YouTube, and there are awesome people on YouTube. That's where I met Garros. So I'm really honored that you had me here today, Garros, and really honored that you asked me to be here. Thank you.
And it's my pleasure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your YouTube channel in the description so that people who are watching right now can actually go and check you out and see the amazing stuff that you put on your channel as well. And also feel free to get this very interview and upload on your channel so that you can share with your amazing audience as well and what you've been able to talk about here. And I'm just looking forward to hosting you next time, having more of these interviews, and basically trying as much as we can to actually inspire and sensitize these people about healthy living. Otherwise, it's been my pleasure hosting you today. I mean, I wish you all the best in your workout. From here, right now here it's about 5 p.m. So I'm going to go home, prepare for some few things and work out as well. And then that will be my day.
That sounds wonderful. I hope you have a wonderful evening, Garros. And I'm going to talk about you in my workout today.
Otherwise, peace, my love. God bless.
Thanks, Garros.